Welcome to R Devil. Today we are taking a look at r/am I the antagonist. Our first story is from Toritpa. Am I the antagonist for telling my daughter I won't be paying for her college unless she attempts a relationship with my family? I, 38 male, have a 19-year-old daughter Ariel with my ex-wife Lauren, 39 female. We had Ariel too young. And it was a huge struggle. We moved into Lauren's families. I was working multiple jobs. Me and Lauren were best friends through all this. But things ended when Ariel was 2. Lauren's friend Tori, 38 female, told me that Lauren had been messaging guys and when they went out she would give out her number. I checked Lauren's phone and found it. I asked for a divorce. Lauren was pissed and wanted to reconcile. I didn't and got split custody. Lauren made my life hell. Lauren badmouthed me, would miss pickup times and make decisions without talking to me. Her dad offered money to relinquish custody. I told him off. Ariel is now 19 and just started college. The deal was me and her mom would split it. I remarried Tori when Ariel was 6. Tori was a rock during the divorce but we didn't date till 2 years later. Lauren used this to warp Ariel against Tori and our son, 13 male. She excludes them. Whenever she spends the night she will just talk to me or go to her room if my family was around. Our son walks to the basement if she comes over. It hurts me a lot. I've spent thousands on therapy before people bring that up. It still is being utilized. But at this point Ariel is being nasty for the sake of it. Her mom has convinced her I cheated with her friend and had a baby. Which is funny because as I've pointed out, the timelines don't even match up. I've done everything at this point including family time, one-on-one and therapy. Ariel is plain rude to them and they are done trying. Ariel graduated from high school in May and hosted a party. I was invited but my family wasn't. I told Ariel I found that disrespectful. So I'd send a card but wouldn't be going. She didn't care and we haven't spoken since. I get a call from Lauren saying she paid the first semester and was wondering when I'd be paying. I said I was no longer paying, as I'm not pulling money out of my household. When Ariel is disrespectful to 2/3 of it, my ex went off, saying we had an agreement. I reminded her of when her dad tried to buy my custody. And said, "You have what you've always wanted. Full control and custody. You won. So figure it out." Then texted her that I've been putting up with this long enough. She got her 18 years of child support from me. So until she planned on setting the record straight that I was done with both of them. And blocked her. I called Ariel and told her the same. Gave the reasons. I'm not paying and told her she needed to look into loans. But I would pay for college if she at least tried to form a bond with my family because she created this situation with her attitude. So if she wants my help, she needs to attempt it. She started crying. But I didn't fall for it. Told her what my expectations were and to let me know what her plan is so I can move the money around. My wife is on my side here, saying we've been the bad guys for long enough. But I'm getting shit from others. Am I the antagonist? Comment by G Moi. Info. Has the college discussion come up at all in the last 2 years? Because the way this is written it makes it sound like you had an agreement with your ex when you split. However, you've had no input or communication on the subject since. It reads like your ex just called you up, said she'd paid the first semester and that was it. Were you involved at any point in the last 2 years of preparation, planning, applications and visits and said nothing, or were you completely excluded and this communication being your ex telling you your daughter is going to X college, she's paid her part, now it's your turn? Edit. Where to were because autocorrect hates me. Comment by Intelligent Help 8946. Ultimately I think this situation is beyond the sub's pay grade only because I think it'll be too evenly split to get a clear answer. I think you are giving the ultimatum to the wrong person though. I'd call up your ex and tell her you'll pay half of the first year's tuition after your ex and your daughter sit down and your ex admits to everything. All the lies. What really caused the divorce. How she purposely ruined your relationship with your daughter. She most likely won't agree to it, but you can shift the hot seat to her a bit. Comment by Floppy-Eared Dog. I'm not giving a judgment here. I'm just saying from my own experience not to underestimate the insidious power of parental alienation. I think it's apt that Insidious is the name of a horror movie because the power of parental alienation to infect and poison a developing mind is scary powerful. My mum hated my dad. It was the kind of destructive hate where you drink poison and expect the other person to die. My mum took all her anger and hatred out on me. It started from when I was 6. But she really started bad-mouthing my dad in my teenage years, and it was relentless. She also told me horrible stories about my dad's family. If I showed the remote bit of affection or even liking in my dad, I was guilt-tripped and given a lecture on all he and his family had done to her. I stuck up for my dad. I told my mum to stop and reminded her that he was my dad and I had a right to love him without being attacked. I'm of average intelligence and I don't think I'd be susceptible to a cult. But my mum's relentless parental alienation subconsciously creeped into my psyche, and it took my mum dying for me to realize that I have my own reasons to be angry at my dad. Was out of control. When my mum was dying, she cursed him to the moon and back, and my anger at him grew. After my mum died, I suddenly noticed that a lot of my anger at my dad had evaporated, and I realized that a great deal of my anger at my dad had really been my mum's anger. It's scary how easily she transferred all her emotions to me and consumed my true feelings. I was a ducking adult and still succumbed to parental alienation so easily. Again, no judgment. Just a glimpse into what a mind-duck parental alienation is regardless of age. The true villain of this story is Lauren. Is joint therapy with you and Ariel an option she would be willing to explore? Our next story is from 8 Male OS and Stressed. Am I the antagonist for my ultimatum about a paternity test? That he could have one done or he could have a family with me but not both. My husband Chris and I are about to have our first baby. A little girl. We've been married for 7 years. And we don't fight much. We're both pretty practical, logical people, and we usually find it easy to work conflict out without it getting too heated. Until now. We were talking about the birth. And he mentioned wanting the hospital to do a paternity test before the birth certificate gets signed. Just to check that box. He talked about it like checking a box at my job. Like just so matter of fact. But this isn't like work. Not at all. I felt hurt. I felt like the fact that he even asked showed he had doubt I was faithful. I've always been faithful. He's actually been the only man I've ever been with. We met as high school sweethearts. I'm 100% sure our daughter is his. So I took some time alone to think. And then I told him he could have it one of 2 ways. I'd only want to build a family in a relationship where there was faith and trust and integrity. So if he wanted to build a family together, he could trust that I haven't strayed. Skip the test. And we put this behind us. Or if he really wanted the test, he could have it. But I didn't want to be in a relationship without that trust. So we could get a divorce. We would set up a custody schedule. He would get the test. He would find out she's his daughter like I said. And he could have partial custody. He freaked out at me, saying it was insane I was talking about divorce a month before I'm due. He just wanted to be sure, and that I was acting crazy. I told him he could be sure if he wanted. But if he did, I would be sure I couldn't stay in this relationship. He told me I was acting crazy. That he just wanted to dot his I's and cross his T's, and how I should know from my job that just checking something doesn't mean you don't trust it. I'm a systems safety engineer and I verify designs and implementation for railway systems. He told me that I check every damn wire thrice over, and it's not because I expect they're gonna be corroded a day after installing. You just gotta check. I said that the hazards I was trying to address there were reasonable and agreed on by all stakeholders. But the hazard, in this situation, if we wanted to talk work, was that I was impregnated by another man. And if that's a hazard he's concerned with, I didn't know why he was with me. Not that my job even is relevant here. Because with engineering it's like, trust nothing. Triple check everything. Have several other people independently checking too, and that's no way to have a relationship. I told him on the phone he could have the paternity test. Or he could have a family with me. But not both. He told his parents about this and his dad was angry I was talking about divorce right when I'm pregnant with his granddaughter. Which ick anyway. I feel like even waiting for my husband's answer is making me reconsider this relationship. IDK if it's just pregnancy moods, but I feel like I'm falling out of love. Am I the antagonist for my ultimatum? Comment by Severe Meat 498. Not the antagonist, and it's not pregnancy hormones. Even if he did decide to trust you, can you trust him again? And for that matter, do you really believe he will treat your daughter the way she deserves, or will she grow up feeling resented, traumatized and abused? I think it's over now. I am sorry. Comment by OKCap204. Sounds like he is projecting. He was so casual about the whole situation. Like it is normal not to be faithful. I agree, there is no trust in this relationship. The husband has broken it beyond repair. And without faith and trust. Comment by Oscar Wildeify. Honestly? I think I might be done when he asked for the paternity test. He just told me that he thought I cheated. F that noise. Not the antagonist. I'm going to have a talk with my fiancé about this. You come up with the weirdest boundaries reading Reddit. Our next story is from Vintage Pneumonia. Am I the antagonist for not going vegan as my wife wanted? I apologize in advance for the text. I'm on my phone and it might not be the most pleasant text. I have been married for 12 years. My wife decided 4 years ago to become a vegetarian and exclude meat from her menu. 2 years ago, she decided to become vegan and has been ever since. She is vegan and I am not. Which is fine. We each take care of our diet separately and this has been manageable so far. I also try my best to use products that are free of animal harm. However, a few nights ago, my wife told me she wanted me to also go vegan. Here is the thing. I don't want to go vegan. I have irritable bowel syndrome and every time I tried to change to a plant-based diet, I suffered with a lot of pain. I know some people swear a plant-based diet can help irritable bowel syndrome. But that was not my case. It made things so much worse that I really don't want to go through that ordeal. I can change pretty much everything else. But my diet isn't something I'm willing to change. I told her that and was even more than willing to change everything else. She, however, is very present in their cause. She's not happy that I decided not to go vegan. I'm feeling like a sack of shit. I don't want my wife thinking I'm an antagonist just because I don't want to be in pain. Regardless, am I the antagonist? Comment by Graphican. Not the antagonist. I'm vegan and my partner isn't for health reasons. We both have irritable bowel syndrome. Veganism made mine a little bit better, not magically healed like everyone claims, but better. It makes my partner's irritable bowel syndrome 100x worse. Veganism doesn't work for every single body and it's not her place to push that on you when it causes your health issues to worsen. She can care about animals and stuff while also caring about you. Comment by Ruthless Shenanigans. This is an unreasonable request. It is self-righteous and inflexible. You do not get to police your partner's dietary needs. Not the antagonist. But she sure is. Comment by Nuttenbutton. Not the antagonist, just 100% not the antagonist. It's unreasonable of her to expect her preferences be pushed onto you just because she likes it that way. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, and subscribe to our Devil. See you in the next one.